Doug, what do you got there?
Right, this is a drip torch. Very useful if you want to put fire on the ground. So say you're doing a back burn or a burnout operation or a prescribed fire and you're one of the firing resources. So for these, PPE is very important. You don't want it to splash in your eyes, and you don't want it to get all over your skin. So for the drip torch, the way you prepare this, it's got a diesel and gasoline mix inside, so very volatile fuel. You'll take the nozzle assembly out, and on the bottom there's a plug that goes into this tube here. So you'll take the plug out, and there's a little retainer receptacle there. You just screw it in. Once it's out, you put it on. Make sure that the loop is pointing forward. The brass ring goes back over the top. You screw that on. Just go hand tight. And then you want to give it an air source, so this little knob here. There we go. Just crack that. Next thing you want to do is you pour a little bit on the ground. You get the wick here wet. You light the ground, and then you light your drip torch from that. So I'm going to put down some fire, and then you'll have a demonstration on another way to put out a grass fire by Jake and Jess.
Awesome. Okay.
So we've shown you a couple other techniques using water to cool your fire down, put out the flame, using air out of the leaf blower. You can use hand tools to dig a line. Another method though on grass fires is to use a form of a swatter, where you use the same technique, start at anchor point, go around your fire, you're swatting the edge, putting it out. There's various kinds of swatters. We have gunny sacks. They're nice and light. You can throw in your pack in case you need it. They work a lot better when they're wet. So you want to take your time to start with, crack a valve on your engine, get it good and wet, and then it's a really quality swatter. While he does that, I can show you they also make a manufactured tool. This is a swatter. You can use this to beat out the flame as you go around, or you can use it kind of like a mop to put the flame out. And one other thing I'll show you, if you've gone to a fire and you have your hand tool, but really what you want is a swatter, you can go to your local fir tree and grab a bough, and it's a good hillbilly way to do the same job. So this is a good demonstration of why an anchor point is important when you're using swatters. If you just go to the middle of a grass fire and start swatting, moving around, the little chunk that you put out will just burn back together. So this is where you really want to save yourself some energy, find a good spot to start, and then slowly work your way from there. So on this fire, I can see a good place to start is on the back here, where there's very little fire activity. I'm going to call this my anchor point. Jess will come with me once he gets his gunny sack wet. Kind of going slow to let the fire progress. You just use this, take your flames, and make sure as you go that what you've put out is staying out behind you. You can see this technique's a lot faster than, say, digging hand line on a grass fire. Anytime you miss a little bit, you may make sure you get it, or if you got somebody else behind you, then you can go a little bit faster, because I know Jess can get the stuff that I missed.
Jess, what do you have here?
Gunny sack. It's wet. You know, these gunny sacks, after beating out quite a bit of fire, will get frayed. They will catch on fire. It's just a nice way. It's light, and it does the trick very well. A lot of people use them, but a lot of people don't like them in the same sense. Using this, you have to be fairly close to the fire and get fairly warm really quick, especially if you're on a hillside. I prefer it. I like it. It's fun. And when using the gunny sack, you want to push the flame back into the black. You don't want to be spreading it out, pushing fire out and starting more fire.
More fire?
Yeah.
So between the two, what do you guys prefer? If you had your choice.
Gunny sack, if it's wet, works really well. If you got a good fir bough, I think it's hard to beat though, especially if you don't have access quickly to one or the other. Nice thing about working in tandem is this can be a really strenuous activity. You're doing this a lot on a canyon fire where you're on a hillside and you've got to go for a long time. If you get out of breath, Jess can step in and the progress continues while I catch my breath so I can be ready to step in for him. See a little flare up back our line I'm going to go take care of.
Doug, what do you have?
We call it a swatter. Just a little piece of rubber mat on a stick. You just smother the fire with it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I will go start on this flank. You guys can jump in.
So pretty much you were able to stop the spread of the fire without using any water.
That's right.
Awesome.
You're knocking the oxygen out from the flame when you swing rapidly at it.